Hello, so welcome to the next square of the 50 stitches crochet along, and this week we're making the floret stitch. So the floret is a type of bobble stitch, but it's very subtle, so it doesn't rise much above the surface, but it's just got a lovely texture. It's quite delicate. It's a single-sided square, so just flat on the back. So how do we make it? So for this square you need a 3.5mm hook, and you're going to start by chaining 32. Okay, so you've done your chain. You go in the 4th chain from your hook, you're going to make a double crochet. Remember that turning chain counts as a stitch. Okay, and then you're going to double crochet all the way across, so including the turning chain you'll have 30 stitches. Okay, so once you've done your first row of double crochet, turn, chain 1 and make alternate turning chain in the first stitch. Okay, remember this counts as your first stitch. Oops. There we go. Right, so in the next chain, next stitch even, you're going to slip stitch. And that's going to start creating your florets. Now for me they all pop out on the back. So some of you might have them up the front. It all depends on kind of how your stitches go. But for me they always pop out the back. And all you do for this stitch is you make a double crochet, and the next stitch you make a slip stitch, and that's all there is to it. Double crochet and then slip stitch, and you're going to do that all the way across the row. So I'll just do a few of these and I'll show you how they're turning out on the other side. But it's a really simple stitch, but it makes a really lovely effect. I love how subtle it is while giving you some really nice bit of texture, and it's such a nice easy stitch to do. It's a great one for doing in the evenings in front of the TV. You don't have to think about it. Okay, just turn over. You see they're starting to appear, but they don't rise up much from the rest of your work, but they do have a nice little texture. Oh, my hook's coming out, excuse me. Here we go. So we just carry on like that. So after each row of florets you make a double crochet row, just all the way across. You'll have 30 stitches in every row, and for me I've done these offset, so each row of florets is slightly offset from the other. And that's just because of the stitch count. Normally you would do the floret stitch with an odd number of stitches, but because we're using an even number we end up with 2 in this row. We end up with 2 double crochet at the end of the row, which just look a bit odd, so I've offset the other rows, and I do that by, so this is row 2, we're doing our first row of florets in. Row 3 will be a row double crochet. Row 4, which is another row of florets, we do the alternate turning chain and then do a double crochet and then do a slip stitch, and that just moves everything across, and it all just looks rather nice. So it's a really simple stitch but very pretty, and all it is double crochet followed by a slip stitch. So by bringing the original square back, so if I get up close you can see how I've offset these. I think it just gives an extra kind of added extra. I like the offset look. So normally the floret stitch would be done so they're all nicely straight in line, but I quite like it this way. So just stagger that first stitch, so it's either the turning chain and then straight into a slip stitch, or turning chain, double crochet and then a slip stitch, and that just moves everything across, so it's all nice and even with your end stitches. So for the border, whoops, do apologise. So you're going to have 19 rows in total for this stitch. You'll have 9 rows of florets and 10 rows of double crochet, and you're going to end with a row of double crochet. So for the border is one single crochet in each stitch along the top and bottom. For the sides, you're going to make a single crochet in the side of every floret row and 2 double crochet in the side of every double crochet row, except for row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. In row 11 you'll make 3 single crochet in the side, and that will give you 30 stitches. So remember to add the extra stitch in the corner for the turn, and that is the floret stitch. So I hope you enjoy. As always, if you have any questions, please do come over to the Facebook group, and please do come and show us your finished squares. So enjoy, and I shall see you again next time. Bye for now.